Well, that was a quick interruption. So what she basically laid out was, hey, there's this group of women, only they're not regular women. They are sirens. And sirens are known not necessarily for their beauty, but for their beautiful, beautiful voices. And they will lure you in from a distance. And she gives him the clue, hey, if you want to listen, is Odysseus curious? Man, you guys better be saying yes. Odysseus is always curious, so Odysseus is definitely going to want to listen to these sirens, okay? So if you want to do that, I want you guys to think, did you hear anything about what his men are supposed to do in order to allow him to listen to those sirens? Can anybody answer that question? Great time to pause and get the answer. Okay, so hopefully, if nobody answered, or hopefully somebody gave the correct answer, he's supposed to take some wax, get it heated up. I mean, they're in the water, they're in the Mediterranean where it's nice and toasty, and they're going to get some wax and they're going to lay it thick in the guy's ears. Odysseus is going to go across, boom, 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 put the wax in the ears, and he has to get tied to the ship's mast, that tall pole in the center of the ship. So, and if I struggle, tie me up some more to this pole. So, hey, that would be great. That's the great plan. So she tells him how to survive this. And now she's getting ready to go into, hey, what are your two options? Ahead are beetling rocks and dark blue glancing amphitrite. Surging roars around them, prowling rocks or drifters, the gods in bliss have named them and named them well. Not even birds can pass them by. A second course lies between headlands. One is a sharp mountain piercing the sky with storm cloud round the peak, dissolving never, not in the brightest summer to show heaven's azure there, nor in the fall. No mortal man could scale it, nor so much as land there, not with 20 hands and feet, so sheer the cliffs are as of polished stone. Midway that height, a cavern full of mist opens toward Erebus and evening. Skirting this is in the lugger, great Odysseus. Your master bowman, shooting from the deck, would come short of the cave mouth with his shaft. So, okay, hey, coming in front of you, I'm looking at line 26. Coming ahead of you are going to be some beetling rocks. It said jutting or overhanging, so I'm going to have rocks sticking out. And then it says I'm going to have prowling rocks or drifters. That's what they're called. Not even birds can pass them by. So those rocks are going to be really sharp. Okay? So option one is lots of jutting or overhanging rocks. If I have rocks sticking out from cliff edges or coming up out of the water, what could that do to my ship? Hopefully somebody is thinking that it could sink your ship. Can't ever allow that, okay? Because you can't survive. You're out here, think of it like being in the ocean. There's nothing around for miles. So your ship goes down, you're going to be dead, okay? So that's option one. So does option one really sound like an option? No, not really. So that was one. Make sure you put that in your summary sheets. Option one, go buy sharp rocks that are going to gouge the side of your ship, and it's 100% certain death. Okay, that's option one. Option two, you can go towards this mountain that's more like a cliff edge, and it's going to be sheer rock. You cannot climb it. It is so tall, it goes into the clouds. So there's no way that you can't climb it. There's just no way to survive it, okay? And they say, oh, hey, but there's an opening, and that opening is big enough to get your ship through. That's starting to sound like a plan. It's pretty cool because they said something about, oh, your master bowman shooting from the deck can't even hit the top of the opening. So I'm going to shoot way up. And that just goes to show how huge this cave mouth opening is. So this talks about Erebus. That was on line 39, Erebus. That was this great big cave opening. Maybe worth writing down. I don't ever test you on the name of Erebus. But it is important to make sure that you understand what option number 1 was, which was the super sharp jutting rocks that will cause certain death, or now I can go into a cave. Now, if I'm in a cave, I got some potential problems here. If I'm in a cave, I mean, obviously I still have water because the water didn't quit when it went into a cave. But I don't know yet what's in that cave, except for I should automatically know one thing that's in a cave. Can anybody tell me one thing that's in a cave? Well, the only thing that I know for sure that is in a cave is darkness. And darkness, for Odysseus, turns out, could be deadly. Okay? So on 930, it talks on line 43, there's a name there. I want you guys to write that name down. It's Scylla, Scylla. You guys have to get a good visual in your mind of what Scylla is, okay? So, but that is the den, that's the cave, that's the home, that's the dwelling of Scylla, where she yaps abominably. A newborn whelp's cry, though she is huge and monstrous. God or man, no one could look on her in joy. Her legs, and there are 12, are like great tentacles, unjointed, and upon her serpent necks are borne 6 heads like nightmares of ferocity, with triple-serried rows of fangs and deep gullets of black death. Half her length she sways her head in air outside her horrid cleft, hunting the sea around that promontory for dolphins, dogfish, or what bigger game thundering amphitrite feeds in thousands, and no ship's company can claim to have passed her without loss and grief. She takes from every ship 1 man for every gullet. So, hey, you're going to come in here and you're going to go up against Scylla. Somebody tell me in this classroom, how many heads does she have? Then what would be the natural thought? How many stomachs might she have? They didn't tell us, but what would you suppose? Okay, so she's hungry. And she's eaten anything that comes by, including men from a ship. Is that dangerous for Odysseus and his crew? You betcha. But Odysseus, that man is strong and he's clever. Let's see how we get through this. But I want you guys to keep in mind, when you look at Scylla, I want you to make sure you write down a few things about Scylla. She has 6 heads. She has a humongous appetite, because they had said something about, her heads were like nightmares of ferocity. So she's very hungry and she's not so very nice. It said she had triple rows of sharp teeth. So imagine, she's just going to shred you when she gets you in her mouth. Okay? So I wouldn't want to be on the ship deck. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be there. So line 59. So this is one option. I'm going to go real close to Scylla. God, no. I'd want to go to the right. But then it says, the opposite point seems more a tongue of land you'd touch with a good bow shot at the Narrows. A great wild fig, a shaggy mass of leaves grows on it, and Charybdis lurks below. Now I want you to write down Charybdis. Charybdis. We've got to get a good visual for what this is. Now, go ahead and start writing that. That was from line 62. You guys can write that down while I'm talking for just a moment. When you guys watch the movie compared to the story, it's a little bit different. So I'm going to kind of explain it kind of like along the lines of what the movie did, simply because it's a very easy visual, I think. It shows us in the movie that Charybdis is on one side and you're just trying to get through this cave, okay? You're trying to get through it. And they talk about, or they show at the end of the cave, it's kind of like a tunnel going through a cave. And at the end of that tunnel, to get to the other end, there's this great big viney thing there. You can't see what's really on the other side of it. And it turns out there's this thing called Charybdis on the other side of this fig. So very well camouflaged. You don't know what's coming, except that, hey, Cersei's warning him right now what's lurking there. And it's Charybdis. Make sure we get a good visual for this. Charybdis lurks below to swallow down the dark sea tide. 3 times from dawn to dusk, she spews it up and sucks it down again. 3 times. A whirling maelstrom. If you come upon her, then the God who makes earth tremble could not save you. No. Okay, I can't answer that. The earth tremble could not save you. No. Hug the cliff of Scylla. Take your ship through on a racing stroke. Better to mourn 6 men than lose them all, and the ship too. So, hey, you're going to get to the end of the tunnel. You're going to get past that fig. And once you get through there, you're going to go like over a cliff edge. You're going to go over a cliff edge, and at the bottom, when you get down to the bottom, and you're on a ship, mind you, you're going to go on this ship, and you're going to have some type of a whirling, it says it's a maelstrom. Think of it like a tornado in the water. So it's going to suck you down. And does it tell us that? Oh, it tells us how many times a day that it sucks down and it spews everything back up. In the movie, they do this so beautifully. They show a creature that the mouth is all the way around this maelstrom. So whatever gets pushed down into it, just like a tornado would, whatever gets into the tornado is going to get broken up. This maelstrom chews everything up, sucks it down, spews it back up, and whatever is left, which would be bits and pieces, would be spewed all over. That's the ship, and that's the crew, everything on that ship. Is anybody going to survive that? Wow. If you're Odysseus, how great are your options right now? Dude, you know you couldn't go on the first course, which was where Erebus was. No, not Erebus, sorry. The dark blue glancing amphitrite. Oh, with the beetling rocks, everything's going to gouge your ship. You're going to be dead because your ship's going down. Well, now you get to go through a cave. And you know you're going to lose 6 guys by Scylla. But, they did say, dude, no, go through close to Scylla. You're guaranteed going to lose 6 men. Guaranteed. But go by on a racing stroke. Do not fight her. You fight her, how many are dead? You pause. Everybody gets up out of their rowlocks. They're not sitting there. They're not trying to get through on that racing stroke anymore. They take a defensive stance, and they want to try and fight Scylla. Scylla's huge. It's massive. It's got 6 heads. It can see everything. You stop, and instead of losing 6 men, how many could you lose? Could you lose 12? Could you lose 18? My God, it would be horrific if you stay there at all. I mean, I don't know. I go by Scylla, 6, 12, maybe 18 guys. If I get to the end of the tunnel. Maybe I don't hit the maelstrom full on. Maybe some of us could survive. It's all possible, right? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? So line 71, so her advice ran, but I faced her saying, only instruct me, goddess, if you will. How, if possible, can I pass Charybdis or fight off Scylla when she raids my crew? And swiftly, that loveliest goddess answered me, must you have battle in your heart forever? The bloody toil of combat? Old contender, will you not yield to the immortal gods? Now, this is an important question she asks him, actually, too. Odysseus, he does not want her telling him what to do. Dude, don't tell me what to do. He can offer some suggestions, dude, but don't you tell me what to do. Because Odysseus, this is kind of a stupid thing that he's got going, that my head's this big, I am all-knowing, I am so smart. Don't you tell me what to do. Not such a good thing. And she answered him and says, dude, do you have to want to fight everything all the time? Really? Who's he really fighting then? Oh, he's fighting the gods. Are you ever going to win against the gods? No. And she's kind of telling him that, you know, hey, aren't you getting tired of all these bloody battles? Why not just say, gods, you're better than me. Old contender, will you not yield? Yield to the immortal gods. Why not acknowledge that I'm a lowly human? Okay? So that takes me to the end of page 930. There's my timer. So I know this is another short video, but hopefully the next video will be much longer and can get us way farther through book 12, because there's a lot more to unpack here. So I'm sure I'll be back in just a few minutes.